Alright, what's up YouTube? Dreadmaster Gaming here with
Peter Brown.
and what'd you just do?
I got top 4 at Rivals Gaming Case Tournament, Dimension Force. Went pretty well. I finished second after Swiss. I went 501 in Swiss and then won in top 8. And got all the way. And so I was really happy about that. So I'm thrilled that this deck's been very good to me. I've won a lot of box tournaments with this deck, and then this is certainly the largest dropping that's had. So I'm pretty happy about it. I think it's a pretty sick list, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Yep. What deck did you play?
I played ABC Brave Therion.
All right, let's get into it.
So one of the things I like about this deck is that it doesn't lose to Token Collector as hard, a little bit. I mean, it does hurt, but mostly it's like cards like Dimensional Bear are also cards that like are not very good against this deck, and so I think it's like a good meta call for that reason. Play 2A, 2B, 2C. I tried playing one for a while, but these two are really the better ones to draw. If you're going to cut any of them, you cut A, but at the same time, they do kind of get randomly banished. A lot of decks have banished outlets, so having 2 of each is pretty good, and it's also really nice when you, even if you hard draw a piece, sometimes, obviously, it can be a break, you want to draw a hanger, that is the deck, but if you have white, you can get your piece engraved, and then bring back the piece with Therion, and sometimes you're able to make Buster that way. So, one driver, you don't really need a second. I play Clara, and if you draw this card, you can still make Appaloosa Buster if you have hanger right. So it works out fine. I don't need to. 3 of the best field spell known to God and man. You can hanger, you must draw it. I play a firm 40 cards with 3 prosperity. You must see this card. I saw this card a lot today. I was pretty happy about it. It's very rare I didn't see this card. Only one time I can recall off the top of my head where I didn't draw it and it mattered. But you have to play as low as possible to draw this card. It's very influential. It's a broken field spell deck with other broken field spell. 2 Regulus, 2 Coliseum. You won the second one because you send it a lot to protect cards like IP and protect cards like Appaloosa. And then it's so broken with cards like Set Rotation, where you set rotation right is basically like an FTK, it's the God combo, because you give them this Coliseum, you give yourself hanger, it's a token Griffin, you do the ABC thing, then you Draco back the Coliseum to your hand, play it, and get Therion. So set rotation plus right ends on like Platinum Gadget, IP, Griffin, Therion, Buster, Token. It's with Draco back. It's unbelievable. So it's really strong. Good card design. It's just only shame. The only problem about Therion is he's an Earth, but otherwise, what's to say about this very broken engine? Even if the card is banned, this is a really strong Link engine. This deck has always historically been super good as a Link deck, not really an Xyz deck. I don't really like to make these monsters because you want to trigger your pieces, and so these cards work super well with the ABC pieces. Even if you don't draw a hanger, if you have a piece plus right, you can do a lot of really strong Link plays. So it's just super efficient. Not too much to say. For tech options, 3 Ash because it's good against everything, especially cards like Branded Fusion. 3 Droplet, and then shout out to Javi with 3 main deck Dark Ruler or more. You can't set this card like you can Droplet, so it's really not as good. But you play all this because these cards are better now than they ever have been. A lot of the decks, like the Punk Adventure deck, set up like try to Scythe Lock you, and they do it with Hulk, Dagda, and then they often have times Baron. If you start turn with Dark Ruler, at the start of main phase 1, they can't do anything. It's super good. It's really good against everything. Generally, the theory is like, what if you draw this going first? Well, going first, this deck is so strong that you get there. If you draw it going second, you just access code Buster, Griffin, or something like that, or Draco like bounce all their stuff, and then you set up an unbreakable board. So it's super nice that you can play all 6 of these. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change it for anything else. So definitely the start of the day were these top cards. 3 prosperity because everybody that can play it should. It's literally if you're ever missing a piece like hanger or right, it gets it there basically 99% of the time. It's unbelievably consistent. And then broken 1-ofs, foolish terraforming, the best spell card in the deck, the other best spell card in the deck, and then this very silly card. Shout out to Damon. Ask Damon how I beat him. It was really sad. So, I'm really sorry. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes. So 40 cards from extra deck. pretty flexible. You have a lot of open space. 2 Buster. Buster's an FTK. Once the first one lands, I even very rarely made a second one, but it does come up sometimes. I never make a third. The third one never comes up. Once the first one comes down, because it summons all these pieces, it's like it's just over. So once the second one lands as like a finisher, you really don't need it. I did play Clara. The Indian Regional, I did not play this card. I played Transversary instead. But I thought for this tournament, because it's not exactly a single Elam, but like winning a lot in Swiss is really important. You can't really lose in Swiss in order to make top 8 at a tournament like this. I wanted to make sure my deck was as consistent as possible, so this was the consistency choice over Transversary. A bunch of Link 2s, because Xyzs are not good in this deck, but Link 2s are. All these very broken Link 2s. Shout out to Javi again, helping with his deck. Brute Enforcer, oh, this card is nice. You know what this card does? So it's kind of like Cerberus or Phoenix, but you can target any face-up card on the field, like discarding a card, and then try to destroy it, but your opponent can stop that effect by discarding like the same card type. Like if you target a monster, they discard a monster. The reason why this card is so sick in this deck is because it's delayed. Phoenix and Cerberus activate on summon, and sometimes when you have like A and B, and you make Phoenix, because B and Phoenix want to activate in the same chain, you're not able to make Buster. We can make Brute Enforcer. You B adds C, Brute Enforcer discards C. It doesn't matter if they get it, who cares? Some Buster would kill them, you know? FTK, honestly. So Brute Enforcer, I summoned like 5 times today. Super good. Baguska, Despy has no out. It's really good. You can make it part of your Super M board. Just make it sometimes get Sword Soul. Daenerys, you can dig for things. Other links. All these obvious cards. This adds second and Punisher. So, anyway, that was the extra deck. Side, 3 Nib. Lots of combo running around right now. It's really good. Droll, it's really good. I don't really play that many hand traps. I'd rather board break them with cards like Droplet and Dark Ruler. So that's it for the hand traps. Pank is really efficient. It's able to deal with cards like Anti-Spell as well as break into monster boards. It's pretty good against Dragon Link too. Which I'm pretty happy about. And the only problem is that this card, just because Griffin is such high defense, the card is just really not as good as it would be in theory against Brave if Griffin had lower defense. But stop the monkey decks. This card is like incredible right now. You make them keep the token, especially like when you have Dark Ruler evenly. You just Dark Ruler them, and then you evenly any Brave deck, and then they keep the token. Only doesn't work against like the decks that try to scythe block you because they sync away the token. And then 3 of this quasi Imperial card. So, anyway, yeah, it just makes your FTK. So that's the deck. Pretty happy about it. I don't know what I would change.
Yep.
So
okay. Shoutouts.
All the boys, Team Zero, Nomads, Javi, Damon, Joel, Juan, Trent, Steven, Joel Worth, Will Kim. Love Will Kim. Yeah, all the Matt, Rivals. Rivals is such a great store. Definitely come out and support Rivals Gaming. Dan is such a great owner. He's been very good to us recently, and so definitely always make sure to support your local OTS store by showing them as much as possible, and always trying to support them. So it's a big deal. So thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you.
All right.